Arnolfo Arnie Alipit Teves Jr., born on August 10, 1971, hails from a well-known political family in Negros Oriental. His lineage includes notable figures like former Finance Secretary Margarito Teves and past governors Herminio, Meniong Teves and Lorenzo Teves. Teves' entry into public service came in 2010 when he was elected Barangay captain of Malabugas in Bayawan. Soon after, he became president of the Liga ng Mga Barangay in Negros Oriental, a position that granted him a seat as an ex officio member of the provincial board, where he served until 2016. Family background and personal affairs. Teves comes from a powerful family with deep political and business ties in Negros Oriental. His brother, Pride Henry, also held public office. Their grandfather, Herminio Teves, and granduncle Lorenzo Teves were both prominent political figures. They are also related to designer Raju Laurel and musician Bobo Igaravillo through maternal lines. Outside politics, Teves was known for hosting a radio program titled Teves Cares Live, Action, Tulong, Solution on DZRH. He owned a food business named Arnie's Chicken and admitted to having operated Isabong, online cockfighting, prior to its government ban in 2022. He defended his role in the industry, insisting that not all Isabong activities amounted to gambling. His son, Kurt Matthew Teves, faced public backlash in March 2022 after a video showed him assaulting a village guard in Paranak. The younger Teves was then serving as an ex officio member of the provincial board. Congressional tenure, 2016 to 2023. Teves entered national politics in 2016, winning the seat in the House of Representatives for Negros Oriental's 3rd District. The position had been vacated by his younger brother, Pride Henry Teves. Upon assuming office, Arnie stepped down from his local posts. He was re-elected twice, in 2019 and again in 2022, serving 3 consecutive terms. During his time in Congress, Teves backed President Rodrigo Duterte's aggressive campaign against illegal drugs and even introduced a low-cost rehabilitation program for addicts. He openly admitted to having struggled with drug addiction for over a decade before achieving sobriety in the early 2000s. However, his congressional career was not without controversy. In 2018, he was questioned for alleged ties to illegal online gambling, particularly e-gambling. He also clashed with Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office board member Sandra Cam over alleged control of gambling operations in Negros Oriental. In a heated 2020 budget hearing, Teves challenged fellow Congressman El Rey Villafuerte to a physical fight and made homophobic comments during the exchange. This dispute centered around allocations from the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH. Teves also supported efforts to remove House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano, aligning with factions that backed Lord Alan Velasco and even encouraging Paulo Duterte to vie for the speakership. A notable moment in his legislative record was his vote against the renewal of ABS-CBN's franchise in July 2020. In 2023, he further criticized a joint media venture involving ABS-CBN and Prime Media, which is owned by Speaker Martin Romualdez. Among his more unusual legislative proposals was a bill to rename the Ninoy Aquino International Airport to Ferdinand A. Marcos International Airport, which was met with strong public backlash and fact-checked as historically inaccurate. He also filed a bill seeking to label ghosting, ending personal relationships without explanation, as an emotional offense, though it proposed no concrete penalties. Expulsion from the House of Representatives. On August 16, 2023, Teves became the first lawmaker expelled from Congress since the restoration of democracy in 1986. His ouster was unanimously decided based on his repeated absences, neglect of duty, and indecent behavior on social media. This came while he was under suspicion for orchestrating the murder of Negros Oriental Governor Raul Degamo. The expulsion prompted Teves' legal team to label Congress a kangaroo court. Although a special election was planned to fill his seat in December 2023, it was ultimately canceled following a resolution from the House and a pending Supreme Court petition filed by Teves. In the May 2025 elections, Degamo's widow, Janice Degamo, defeated a member of the Teves family to win the seat. Linked to the Raul Degamo assassination. Raul Degamo was gunned down at his home in Pamplona, Negros Oriental, on March 4, 2023, just a month after being declared governor by the Supreme Court in a contested election against Teves' brother. Authorities arrested 11 suspects, with 2 naming Kong Teves as the mastermind behind the attack. Teves, who had already left for the U.S. on medical leave by late February, denied the accusations and claimed he and his family faced severe threats to their lives. Despite a travel clearance that expired on March 9, 2023, Teves refused to return, prompting the House to suspend him for 60 days, a penalty later extended by another 2 months. Fugitive status and terrorism allegations. Teves sought political asylum in Timor-Leste in May 2023, but his application was rejected. By July 2023, the Anti-Terrorism Council had designated him, his brother Pride Henry, and others as terrorists for alleged involvement in killings and threats in the province. This was the first time a sitting official was labeled a terrorist by the council. The move drew criticism from Teves and his legal team, who claimed the action was politically motivated and excessive. In August 2023, the Department of Justice filed murder charges against him, followed by a Manila court issuing an arrest warrant. By September, Teves was believed to be hiding in Southeast Asia. Former Senator Manny Pacquiao later confirmed Teves was in Timor-Leste. On February 9, 2024, his passport was officially canceled, and by February 29, Interpol had issued a red notice, marking him as a fugitive wanted for prosecution, arrest, detention, and deportation. Teves was arrested by Timorese police on March 21, 2024, at a golf course in Dili. Initially detained at Bacoor prison, he was later released and placed under house arrest as he awaited extradition hearings. In June 2024, Timor-Leste Supreme Court approved his extradition to the Philippines, but the Court of Appeal reversed the decision in March 2025. Eventually, on May 28, 2025, Teves was apprehended again at his residence in Dili. Later that day, Timor-Leste deported him, citing him as a threat to national security, and banned him from re-entering for 10 years. Philippine authorities assured the Timorese government that Teves would not face capital punishment or inhumane treatment. He arrived in Manila on May 29th and was detained the following day at the New Bilibid prison. Net worth and lifestyle. While specific figures regarding Teves' net worth are not publicly disclosed, his involvement in various businesses, including his restaurant and Isabong operations, suggests significant personal wealth. However, his assets have come under scrutiny amid legal proceedings, with calls for asset freezes from political opponents. Thank you for watching and kindly subscribe, like and share this video to family and friends.